thought I would get my outside walking in because for Alabama, we're supposed to be getting some weather this weekend, and I don't love cold and damp. I don't mind cold. I especially don't mind it if it's sunny. No, it's not that cold right now. It's got to be, I don't know, it was 33 when I left, so it's not that cold. But, I mean, it's not negative 12 like it is where I'm from. So I'm outside enjoying the weather because I'll probably be at the gym this weekend when it turns rainy and icky. I will not want to be outside walking. And I did go 3 extra trees today, so go me. I'll take it. It's a small win. I'm going to take it. I suggest you take all small wins and feel great about them. But I was scrolling earlier and I ran across that Tom Hanks interview where he talks about one of the directors that he worked with getting really mad. And he said there's 3 things that actors need to do. They need to show up on time, they need to know their text, and they need to have an idea. And I thought, you know what, that's really great advice for singers as well. Because you should, if it's a lesson, right, you should show up on time, ready to work, have done all your things like stretching and doing a little pre-warming up your breathing so you can really dive in and do great work with somebody else's, who's there, somebody else's ears on you, right? They're going to hear and see different things, but if you have to go through the warm-up process, so show up on time and be ready, I would say. Know the text, know your song. Don't be learning. There's a difference between learning and practicing, right? Learning is at home when you're learning the rhythms and the melodies and the phrasing. You're learning the form of the song that you want to do. That's all learning that should go in ahead of time so that you are ready to really practice and rehearse and dig in and do the little tweaking or the big tweaking that could be done, like I said, with someone else's ears and eyes on you. So show up, know the text. I think that's great advice for singers. And then also have an idea. What does that mean in singing world? One of the things I think that could mean for singers is have an idea what the story is that the song is telling. Not from the perspective of the songwriter, because you have no idea what the songwriter intended, really, unless they've talked extensively about it. You don't really know their intention, and besides, their intention might be really foreign to you. It might be a concept that you know nothing about. There's a little kid out there singing. I love this neighborhood. So have an idea about what these lyrics mean, what the story is, what the intention is. And you can kind of see the story, like break it apart. What is the verse 1 saying? What is verse 2 saying? Like, is there a progression to this story? And can you, as the artist, as the singer who's singing this song, can you interpret it from a real live you perspective? Like, what could you relate it to? Because if you don't connect to the lyrics and the story that you're telling, you're just singing words, right? So how can you relate this story? What is the intention? Sometimes I like to have my singers write intention or emotions beside each paragraph, because in a real life story, you don't have the same emotion or intention or energy in every part of your story. That would be really boring. Yet that's what a lot of people do. And that leads into, dynamics also. It can help your song flow and have a dynamic range just by really tuning into the emotions that you are singing about. But all that means that you need to be present in the moment. You need to be really present in the emotions, in the story, like you're telling it for the first time every single time you sing the song. And that's hard. Well, that's hard anyway. And it's vulnerable and it's scary because you're putting your personal feelings about this story out into the world, hoping that other people will connect like you do, or understand, or will feel the emotional ride that you're taking them on. Where I was going with all of that. Well, important because, again, you have to be in the moment. You know, you have to really understand that it is a conversation, that what you're doing is singing about a time in your life, or about a time that you witnessed in somebody else's life, or about something that you know and care about. You're in the moment and you're having this conversation. And if you watch the audience, I mean, I've said this before on podcasts and videos, if you watch the audience, they're actually giving you feedback. It is a conversation. It's not that you are up there on the stage singing words out at somebody. That's not ever going to be an engaging or a really enjoyable event for your audience. So it's really about being in the moment and staying in the moment. And as you can see, me losing my train of thought, that's what happens, right? But we have to be able to come back as entertainers. We have to be aware that it's happened, and we have to be able to come back and pick up and go on and get right back in the story. That's a normal and natural thing that happens, right? And a lot of times, if a young singer or young artist makes a mistake like that, it freaks them out, and then the rest of the song is guided by this voice in their head going, you know, you messed up, everybody's staring at you, what are you doing? They're laughing. And then even worse, if you see somebody laughing or on their phones in the crowd, then you immediately take that personally, and you can't. You have to understand that you have no idea what somebody in the crowd is doing. It could be a family emergency. They could have had a really bad day. Somebody could have texted them a joke. You know, why they're on their phone in your performance, I don't know. But people do it a lot, actually. And that's what we deal with, right? So I think the more you have an idea and the stronger you can connect with that idea and those emotions and that intention, the better chance you're going to have at sending that out into the world, into your audience, and actually connecting with them and engaging with them and having them become a part of your performance rather than just somebody they can ignore, somebody that's on the stage and they can just be on their cell phone, because that never feels good. So I think that's great advice for singers. Like he said, show up on time, know your text, know your song, be ready, and have an idea. Have an idea that you can really connect to. How are you going to play this song? How are you going to sing it? What does it mean to you? So there you go. That's today's thoughts as I'm doing my walk and my breathing and all of the stuff that I hope you're doing too.